Hello everyone. In today's online ATL session, we will learn about how can we use our mobile phones as a laboratory itself. There are different sensors that each mobile phone has. By using those sensors, a mobile can be used as a laboratory in itself. So let us look through the various sensors, how they are used, how mobile phone works in today's session. So let's go ahead. So this is how basically an evolution of telephone happened. You might see that the leftmost picture is the oldest telephone one could have, and the rightmost picture is today's smartphone. In earlier phones, um, it was just used for calling, long distance call or only to make calls. But as the technology progressed, today we can use our smartphone as a camera. We can use our smartphone to do many other activities, including online purchases and things like that. We will see as we move ahead into the session. So, if I ask you this question, what are our mobile phones used for? Obviously, to talk to each other, to take pictures, share with each other through different applications, through email, to Facebook. Then, most of us do recharge, electricity recharge, phone recharge. We transfer money to our friends, to our relatives. We also do ticket booking, train, aeroplane, or bus. We use GPS, Google Map to identify the route, distance, and time required to travel. As I said earlier, we also use the mobile phone to order things online, including food. Nowadays, or rather, it is always useful to, check weather conditions, and we can definitely use some different apps on our mobile phones to check the weather condition, whether it is going to rain, what is the temperature outside, what is the humidity outside, so we can check the weather conditions. And people also use mobile phones for tracking their fitness activities, how many steps they walked, what was their average heart rate, and things like that. So how does a mobile phone work primarily? So specifically, when we talk about a mobile phone, to make a call, what it does is mobile phone's microphone pick up your voice, and there are some sensors like MEMS and MEMS sensor. MEMS is like micro electromechanical sensors. So these sensors and the integrated circuits within the mobile phone, they convert your voice into a digital signal, and it is passed on to the person on the other side of on the phone. Basically, your phone uses various sensors inside it, like a light sensor, a sound sensor, a microphone, a camera itself works as a sensor to perform different tasks as per its programming. So, what are sensors? So, if we talk about a word sensor, it literally means something that senses, something which senses. But what does it sense? It sense things like position, direction, speed, pressure, temperature of an object. Basically, anything, any parameter related to surrounding, a sensor can sense, and it basically um, converts that information into some readable format. So you and I can read what is the temperature today on our mobile. You and I can read what is the average steps that I walked. You and I can read what is the distance between Pune to Calcutta on our mobile phones through the GPS app. So it converts the information of things surrounding to something readable. So that's how sensors work. And in general, if you are aware, and all of you must be knowing this, right? So, five different senses that a human has. The first important sense is a sense of sight, something that we can see, you know. a sense of sound. We can hear, sense of smell, something that smells good or bad, sense of taste, something that tastes sweet, sour, or spicy, sense of touch. So all these senses, human has. So likewise, the sensors can also, see through a camera. A sensor can sense a sound through a microphone. Likewise, it can also detect a smoke. It can also detect the temperature. It can also measure the temperature. It can measure the height. So likewise, these different things that are required for a human being to experience something, the mobile phone exactly does, use with the use of sensors. So let us basically look into what are different sensors. In general, as I said earlier, there are different sensors like humidity, temperature sensor, accelerometer, infrared, ultrasonic, touch, color, smoke, and we will see, the purpose of each of these sensors. So these are 14 sensors in our mobile phone, and there are more than these 14 sensors nowadays. But primarily, the accelerometer, GPS, gyroscope, magnetometer, barometer, proximity sensor, light sensor, touch sensor, camera, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. All these are different sensors in a mobile phone. And if we know which sensor is used for what purpose, we will be able to use our mobile phone as a laboratory. We can use it as a lab. Things that we measure into our lab, like physics lab, chemistry lab. We can, you know, do measure these parameters using mobile itself at home. So there are first group of sensors that a mobile phone has is a proximity sensor. Sorry, the position sensor. So the position sensor basically has different types: magnetometer, GPS, and proximity sensor basically. So we'll see, what these sensors are used for. But before we go ahead, uh, to know what are the magnetometer, what are GPS sensors, we will first understand, these terms. And I'm sure that you are aware of what is latitude, what is longitude. You must have learned these terms in your geography, right? So global positioning system, GPS, coordinates of any position, rather any place on the surface of this planet, has these measurements of latitude and longitude. Um, so what is latitude? So uh, latitude is basically latitude is basically the how far the place is north or south of the equator. So if you see this, uh, so the any place, how north or how south, how far south it is, and longitude, it is the how far the place is towards east or west from the prime meridian, minus 180 degree to 180 degree. So this is how we uh, specify the location of a place through these latitude and longitude values. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. So the first sensor that we are going to see, and we are also going to see the use of this particular sensor, and what application that our mobile phone has that uses these sensors. So the first application that our mobile phones have is a compass application. All of you are aware of compass, right? We have learned that also in geography, and to an extent in history also. Like people used to find the direction using the compass, whether they are heading towards north or south or east or west. So we have the application. I'm going to show it on my mobile phone, which you can see on the screen. uh, the compass application. So this is the compass application on my mobile phone. Right now, it is oriented towards 71 degrees east. That is, from north. If I move my mobile phone, which you can see on the right hand side of the video screen, you will see it changes the number. So it is 107, 108 degrees, 109 degrees east. And as I turn my mobile phone, it also changes the position. I turn it, anti-clockwise, and you can see how it is moving. So this is how it moves. So the icon on the top, which also specify the location. There is there is a name of the place, DP Road. Basically, my location of my mobile phone is on. So it is detecting where it is. Basically, where am I operating this application from? And if I click this I button next to this DP Road, it will it will tell me the address, the latitude and longitude of place where I am using this compass from, and it also shows the Google location here on the mobile phone of that particular place. So this is how um, the um, the compass app works. There's one button on the top here. So as you can see on the screen on the left, so how it is showing the address, how it is showing the position, how it is showing the Google map. Similarly, there is one button on the top right, the arrow pointing outwards. If I click that arrow, it will ask me to open this map using different application in my mobile phone which uses the maps, basically Google Map or some transport cab booking apps like Uber or other applications. So this facility is also there in this app. So which is basically primarily using the magnetometer and global positioning system, GPS location. So now the next app that we are going to see is the Google Map, which is going to tell us the uh, which also uses GPS, and the name of the app is Google Maps. You can find your place on the map. You can find your favorite restaurants on the map. You can find out how far is your home from your school, or how far a place like Pune from your hometown. So you can find out a place. You can find the route. How do you want to travel, by road or by train or by plane? People mostly use this to identify the route by road. They find out the distance, as I said earlier, and it also tells us the time required to travel from one point to the other. So I'm going to open the Google Map on my screen now. You can see on the right side of the screen. So this is basically Google Map, and you can go here in the search bar. There is a search bar on the top. You can uh, you can type the location you want to search in the search bar. So, for example, if I want to identify, if I want to search where Vigyan Ashram is, here it is. It will show with the red dot. You must all be aware of this. And if I keep pressing the red dot here, the location dot, for 3 seconds, what it will show me is basically the coordinates of the place, Vigyan Ashram, the longitude and latitude of Vigyan Ashram using the Google Map. So this is how you can use Google Map for identifying the location, to identify the direction. If I want to find out the direction, so simply I go here, click on the direction, and then from my location, it tells me it takes 2 hours and 11 minutes from my place to reach to the Vigyan Ashram by road. So that's how it basically works. So let's see how we can use Google Map, sorry, the GPS sensor for. So next thing is we need to make sure that our location is on. Uh, you know, we can also add these GPS coordinates to our photos that we click. So for that purpose, or for GPS to run, for Google Map to run, you need to make sure that location is on your phone. Okay. Next thing is go to, camera. Go to the camera, and on setting button of your camera, turn on the location tag, which was already turned. In my case, I'm just going to make sure that I'm turning it on so that it will add the location tag to the photos that you click. And next thing is, once you click the photo, for example this one that I clicked some time back, um, while the location was on, and you can see into this property of this photo. So how do you check the property of this photo? Go to these three dots, click on the details, and it will tell us the location from where or at which the photo was clicked. So this is basically the Google location, the GPS location, the latitude and longitude in terms of the Google address of the place where I have clicked the photo. So you can also tag the photos, also tag the location of the place onto your photos. So that's how you can use the GPS sensor in your mobile, the magnetometer sensor in your mobile, to identify the direction, to identify the location, the position of the place, to find the direction. You can also tag these locations. You can use different applications that use GPS, specifically to order food. You can go to that app. You can book the cab. Um, Specifically, if you go here and if you book the cab, you want to book the cab, taxi, you go to Uber, and it will tell you where do you want to go. So if you want to go to home, and it will already would have picked up your current location. So this is your current location, and then you go here and it will tell you the place where it is going to take you to in your ride. So let's go to the next application in your mobile phone that you can use, that uses basically GPS sensor, and which basically calculates the area of a land. You can use this app to measure the area of the land basically. So if you go here, first step is, this app uses the GPS sensor. Name of the app is GPS area app, GPS area calculator. If you go, you click this icon, and on this icon you click the middle one, area. Okay. So it will ask you to choose one of the two options, either walking and manual. You can measure the distance by actually walking from one point to the other, carrying your mobile phone in your hand, and you need to also make sure the location is on. Or you can manually select the points in your map, um, and for that also you need to keep the location on. Now let's do it by manual. I'm going to click manual measurement. And for example, if I want to just measure, the area of this campus, just see here, or rather, yeah, point number two, point number three, point number four. Rather, I'm going to pull it little here. Yeah. And on the top, you can see the area measured is 22,779 meter square on the top left, right? So you can measure as the next step, you can select the points and you can measure the uh, area. You can also save this. Click on the save button, and you can give a name, whatever you have measured. Like for example, school ground. I'm just taking some example, and you can save this. You can click this button and you can save the location of, or save the name of the land you have measured. You can also measure the area of your home, area surrounding to your home or school, using this app. So next set of app is basically use proximity sensor. So proximity sensor is nothing but, it detects how close you are to your phone. It locks the screen to avoid accidental touches. For example, if there is an incoming call and you pick it up, it will detect that the phone is very close to your ear, and the phone automatically locks the screen so that you don't accidentally touch any other button. So that's how proximity sensors work. The next set of sensors is basically the motion sensors. So by name you can figure out, like motion, it either detects the movement or the motion of the mobile phone, and these two are the sensors, accelerometer and gyroscope. So you can also Google what these sensors are. Accelerometer basically measures the acceleration. For example, if your phone is moved from one point to the other, it detects that there is a movement of your phone. The gyroscope or the gyroscope, this sensor basically uh, identifies whether your phone is turned. It also identifies the angular, you know, velocity. There is a change into the position of your phone. If you flip it upside down, that is how it works. For example, if you flip your phone upside down, it detects change in the orientation of mobile. And how it works, it basically, if there is an incoming call, and if you just want to, and if it is on ringing mode, and if you are in a meeting, or if you are in some conversation where you don't want to have that ring, so what you simply do is you flip your phone upside down. It will automatically make the phone on silent mode. It will automatically switch off the ring. Next thing you have already seen yourself is the photo orientation. If you want to check the photo, and if you rotate the phone from landscape to portrait, or from horizontal to vertical position, it will also change the photo orientation. So that's what your accelerometer does. Okay, next sensor that you all have using the accelerometer, the application is basically to check the spirit level. Okay, now just let's see this part. Yeah. So spirit level also uses the accelerometer sensor. So the name of this application is bubble uh, level tool, which is this one. And what this application is used basically to check the level of the surface. You know, whenever you are going to make something, you need to or assemble something, you need to make sure that the surface is flat, right? It is not tilted to any axis on any angle. For example, on the right side of the screen, you will see as I move my phone, I'll just rotate my phone, I'll turn it, and the bubble on the x-axis, that is top horizontal, it is moving. So it is basically lifted by 33.2 degrees on the left. If I simply move my phone, again lift on the right hand side up, the bubble is moving on the right hand side. So my phone is basically tilted on the right hand side by 30.8 degrees. Similarly, if I turn my phone on the y-axis, now this vertical bubble on the vertical scale, it is going up, sorry, it is going down rather. So it is minus 29 degrees or approximately. And if I turn my phone up on the top, so it will go, the bubble will go up. So my phone is tilted 31 degrees on the front side, on the top side. I'm just laying the phone again flat. You will see X and Y axis to be at 0 degrees. So that's the purpose of the spirit level. So next application, the next sensor in your phone is basically a microphone. Microphone itself is a uh, sensor. So the application that we have on mobile basically is a sound meter, and you can see this sound meter as I speak in front of my phone. It is going to change the level of the sound. So what does this What sensor does it use? It uses the microphone of your phone, and uh, it checks the level of the sound around us. So if I just speak loudly, the level of the sound is increasing from 70 to 80 decibels. So the unit of the measurement is dB, decibels, and you can use this apps basically, use this app to measure the noise in your area with the help of your mobile phone, specifically during festival when there are loud music and crackers. You can also measure the level of the sound, and if it is beyond acceptable level, you can report the level of the sound to your local gram panchayat or municipal corporation. So this is how you can also use the sound meter app to check the level of the sound. Next set of sensors are basically environmental sensors, which are nothing but thermometer, barometer. Thermometer basically measures the temperature. Barometer measures the atmospheric pressure. Ambient light sensor is basically a light sensor your mobile phone uses. If you uh, if there is a dark in your room, it will also dim. It will make sure that the brightness of the screen is lowered. If you go into the dark, if you go into the shiny uh, area where there's a lot of light already, it will automatically reduce the brightness of your phone. So that is the light sensor that works in your phone. And then other let's see how temperature measurement you can do using an application. So basically there is an app called as room temperature app. So this is how it looks like. Yeah, this is how it looks like. So what it does is it basically measures the temperature, name of the temperature. It uses basically the temperature sensor in your mobile phone. I just will click this I button next to the indoor. Yeah, how it works, it is telling me we are measuring room temperature with your phone temperature sensor. So see, it is telling you you need to put your phone idle for a few minutes, and your phone will show your room temperature with an accuracy of plus or minus 3 degrees Celsius, right? So this is how it measures the temperature. You need not have a thermometer. Your phone can itself work as a thermometer for indoor temperature. For outdoor temperature, it is also showing the outdoor temperature, and it uses the outdoor temperature on the internet. Basically, this application Open Weather, they also use sensors to gather the temperature and humidity data of your location. So you can see humidity is 49%, air pressure is some 1012 hydropascals. It is also showing me the wind speed and all. So this is how you can measure the temperature indoor and outdoor. Your phones also auto shut off, if they're exposed to extreme temperatures in both cold and hot weather. If you put your phone in the sun for too long, it will automatically switch off. Or if it accidentally gets into the too cold weather, it will switch off. Next, uh, sensor that we are going to use is a barometer sensor. And the application that we have is a barometer app, which looks like this. What it does is it uses the barometer sensor. It measures the atmospheric pressure. It also measures the altitude of a place from average mean sea level, AMSL. So it also uses GPS at the same time, and it is telling me the atmospheric pressure in the place that I am sitting is 1011 hydropascals. And uh, if I just go, sorry, yeah, if I just go here, it will also tell me the altitude of the place, that is 567 meters from average mean sea level. So you can check your place how at what average height it is from the average mean sea level, and what is the atmospheric pressure in your area. You can also check that. So that is how You can use barometer to basically evaluate and the atmospheric pressure and your average mean sea level, the height of your place, altitude of your place from the average mean sea level. So this is a barometer. If I just move next, you can figure out different sensors being used by other apps in your mobile phone. Now you already learned how different apps uses different sensors in your mobile phone. You can figure out now by yourself, just by the main use of the application. If you know what that application is used for, you can basically understand and figure out yourself what that application, what sensor that application basically uses. For example, Google Fit, as I said, this is used for fitness. What does this what different sensors this app must be using? Then there is a Google Translator app, which translates or which also converts text to speech. The voice recorder app on your mobile, what sensor does it use? Your Zoom app. There is AccuWeather app. Then you lock your mobile phone by lock and unlock your mobile phone by your finger scanning. So what sensor does that function must be using? So you can figure out yourself. If you have any question, you can post them on the channel. We are available on the YouTube channel, and we can definitely answer your questions there. So thank you for watching this. We'll post this video. It's already published on the YouTube. You can refer to this video. You can go to your mobile phones, install those applications. If they are not installed, go to the Google Play Store, and as I said, one by one you can use those applications and see the use of those sensors. So thank you very much for listening to this session patiently, and happy exploring different sensors in your mobile phone. Thank you. Bye bye.